Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unlimited Railworks. It is another episode, Video Game Choo Choo's anime podcast. I'm your host, Rose, and LV isn't here this time. It's just me and the boys. The boys being John. Hi, John.
Hello.
And Maverick. Hi. Oh, yeah?
I'm kind of half asleep right now because I just woke up from a nap, so I apologize, but thank you.
I hope you're a little bit more rested than perhaps you might have been.
I hope so, too.
But yeah, Maverick's here also. Hi, Maverick.
Hey, how's it going? I mean, John, we really got to fix that because tonight it's showtime.
God, it sure is.
Oh, so this leads into, obviously we're going to talk about the Big O, the series that we watched for this episode. At least did we all watch it dubbed, or has one of us watched it subbed? I watched it dubbed.
I also watched it dubbed.
Oh, I made sure to put the dub on.
All right, cool. Okay. So yeah, for those who don't know, Big O was on the Cartoon Network back in the day. It's one of those like real big, like, oh, this is a Toonami ass anime for sure. They got fucking Steve Bloom over on their Roger Smith main character. Also very Batman the Animated Series, as we'll get into overall in vibes. But you know, dude goes around to this big city, Paradigm City, that lives in a dome. And everyone lost their memories 40 years ago. And we follow Roger, like I said, his main character. Well, he goes around with his big robot, Big O, and uncovers the mysteries. Sort of like procedural, almost. Very, like, different story every week, but there's an overarching narrative in the background that they sort of get into. They definitely get into it more in the second season, but... that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about season 1. John, since you picked this, I wanted to hear your thoughts on it first, since this is you rewatching it, right? Or
No, this is my first time watching.
That's right. You said that.
I might have watched it as a kid, but I don't remember.
Not in
that.
like a meaningful way.
Exactly. Show fucking owns.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Show whips ass. I definitely highly enjoy all of it that I've seen so far. I have always been a big fan of the Bruce Timm animated shows. I've never really been a big superhero guy throughout my life. I've obviously had aspects where I enjoyed things here and there, but growing up, I absolutely loved Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, but especially Justice League. The two Justice League shows are that's like one of my favorite television shows of all time, period. But it's just really nice to see Sunrise, right? Yeah, Sunrise use their talent and kind of continue on what they did with Batman the Animated Series to basically their own thing. It's really funny to watch just because you can see the inspiration. Like, they are wearing their inspiration on their sleeve. Like, there's an episode where it's basically a Poison Ivy episode, one of the guys, I wouldn't say he's like the Joker, but he's kind of I'd say like as I was sitting there and watching the episodes with Beck, it's like I could see that they were like, we could kind of make a Joker-esque character, but not really go like as goofy, like he's definitely like just the way that he moves, it reminded me a lot of animated series Joker. But they take that concept and they just completely made it their own. Like, Roger is a rich dude who looks like Bruce Wayne, who's got a butler and doesn't like guns, and has a mysterious past. He's got a lot of Bruce Wayne in his DNA, but instead of being a socialite, instead of being instead of being a like running a huge corporation like Bruce Wayne does, Roger is a negotiator. He just goes around and tries to solve problems mostly through talking and negotiating with people, but oftentimes he does have to get his hands dirty. And usually, when he has to get his hands dirty, he calls up the Big O, and they sort of play around with that like secret identity thing by not having many people know that he's the one piloting the Big O. You know, like usually he'll just kind of disappear, and then the robot will appear, and the military police guy will be there and be like, "Oh, the Mega Deuce," and so it's not 1-to-1, but it is very much heavily inspired by their work on Batman. But I just think it's really fun. Like the animation is super solid. Great soundtrack. I would say that like it definitely isn't like a 5 out of 5 for writing. You know, there is a lot of just like meandering around to go to the next part of the story. Because yeah, like Batman the animated series, for how gorgeous it is, for how just like amazing that show is, it is also incredibly well written. And I definitely don't think Big O is as well written as like the best of the Batman the animated series, but it's definitely still really well done. And you know, it's a very interesting world to go into, because like you said, this city, everyone's memories were wiped like 40 years ago, and basically all the people of the city, it's basically Gotham, they are controlled, whether they really are aware of it or not, by the corporation that runs the city, Paradigm, which I guess they kind of sort of took, like, oh hey, if Wayne Enterprises was like to try to take control of Gotham, how would that go, especially if Bruce Wayne didn't have like wasn't completely pure of heart, you know, like I think they probably tackled that there too. And this first half of the show doesn't really answer that much. It sets up a lot. And it has a lot of characters asking questions, and it has a lot of characters, you know, like having little flashbacks and not really knowing fully what kind of world they are living in. But it's getting there, you know, and I would like to see more. I have seen that, like, you know, the second season isn't as well regarded as the first, or at least the second half, I suppose. But so far, it is just a fun, just badass show that I just, you know, as I was watching it, like after every episode, I was like, okay, I think that was my favorite one. Okay, maybe now that one was my favorite one. Like every episode, it's just a good time to watch.
I think
that's
how
I feel.
Yeah, unlike Batman, which has a basis in something, right? It has a basis in like the comics and the things that they can build off of and create these new ideas to have more of a better structure and like consistent writing style. This one is very much a show made off of vibes. Like, it is very like, we had an aesthetic we wanted to go for. We have this mood, this idea, this tone that we want to go for. And we don't quite know how to go all the way there with it, but we do know how to present it. Like, we know how to like capture this feeling or this idea through the animation, through the music. And it's great. I think the thing that really stood out to me was the I'm trying to think of the right word, the like, not realistic, but like the tactile nature of everything, like how everything is very like physical. They focus on the physicality of everything. Like, I mean, the big thing with the Big O is that it has the sliding punch right along the axis where he grabs the joystick and he slams it around the ring. And that's great, right? Like, that's awesome. I love that.
They take a lot of care to show how these things move. Like, I mean, I don't think they do it as much as time goes on, because I think they kind of understand that, like, yeah, you know how this works by now. Like in the early episodes, yeah, they show that sliding punch with that big wind, just, and then there's also the huge piston in the arm. They do that in the first episode, where it's just like, yeah, the big O punches something, and then there's just a piston that'll pop out and pop back in, so it's just like a double punch basically. And yeah, just like showing how the robot moves. They take a lot of care in showing that. They have a lot of fun with Dorothy, which, you know, I'm sure we'll talk a bit more in a bit, but like they like she's an android, so they have a lot of fun like just having her move and like making sound effects like as like her neck turns, or, you know, if she's like showing how, you know, yeah, of course, if she's an android, she's going to be filled with a lot of parts, so there's a lot of bits where like people who don't know she's a robot are like trying to get her to move or something, and they're like, oh, she's a dainty girl, let's just pick her up, but no, she's like twice the weight of like anyone there, and so she's just like a big hunk of metal, and it's like the show is very much dedicated to highlighting the realities of how all of this stuff would work, if it were real, and you know, even if a lot of it is made up, it's still trying to showcase a general conceit of how it could work.
Yeah. Before I get into it, I actually did want to ask Maverick, what was your take? Have you seen this before? I didn't know if you had or not, or if this was your first time.
I feel like the Big O is... I remember the Big O as one of those things that I watched with the TV muted.
Uh-huh.
Either I was way, way, way late up at night, and I was supposed to go to bed, or I ended up waking up too early, and I was just needed something to do before I got ready for school. It sits in my mind as like something in that avenue, as would like Inuyasha and most of the other like Toonami 4 a.m., 5 a.m. interstitials. Before I really got into what I wanted to say, I actually wanted to read off, because LV had given us just some of her thoughts. And I feel like there are some things in here that I do want to delve into a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff that, you know, does lean into ultimately how I feel, where I enjoyed my time. But I feel like so much of my interest comes more in the contemporary, like knowing how Big O fit into the greater scheme of anime during that time. So, to quote LV, I don't recall ever watching or trying it when it first aired, but I have mixed feelings about the Big O. Given that Sunrise helped do some work on the excellence that is Batman the Animated Series, I too would be impressed with what I have done to try to do it again. Unfortunately, the Big O feels like a meager attempt to recreate the former. The animation in all the action sequences are slick AF, and there are many beautiful shots and compositions. They work within their respective artistic suits, but not together. I personally do not think the tokusatsu elements blend well with the noir mystery aspects, which is a shame, because I think in a different direction it could have succeeded. The best way I can describe this is if you were to cut the first half and the second half of each episode respectively and compare them under a microscope, they do not feel like they fit in the same puzzle. This contrast is apparent with the clashes between its high-octane Saturday morning cartoon opening theme song versus sultry piano ballad as its ending theme. If it was all supposed to be intentional, it feels more unplanned and unpolished. The cases and monsters of the week fell a little flat to me as well. Each of their sob stories barely resonated, perhaps because it all boils down to the main issue of the show, the story. The whole time I was bugged by the fact I did not know what is going on. How can I care about anything if I'm saying they're confused? So are they in a simulation? Are people's souls being put into the robots? Was that supposed to be a Planet of the Apes, it was worth all along moment? I feel like I gained memory loss like a Paradigm City resident myself. The series does way too much hand-waving with these suggested grand themes about gods and creations, but does very little to commit to explaining anything along the way, and what the hell is exactly going on. I really wish it was all just distilled to the simple format of a dude and a robot and a cool butler solving cases with big robots. And from what I read, it just sounds like it gets even more confusing further along. Oh my god, they really just wanted to put Bruce Wayne in a mech, didn't they? There are so many great examples of hard-boiled mystery serials attached with some suggested weird otherworldly elements. I think of the first season of True Detective. I think of the Pale Arc in Disco Elysium, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think these are all touchstones the Big O wanted to hit on to some level, but it sadly missed, accompanied by all the uncertainties that probably came and went with how much TV ratings really mattered to influencing a show's longevity back then, especially considering how ambushed the team must have felt that the Americans kind of saved the show. God, it feels like Legend of Korra all over again. And I think there is definitely a lot to say there, where ultimately I did enjoy my time with the Big O. I felt that there are definitely some episodes that I can't remember as well, honestly, but then I'm thinking about, the stuff with Schwarzwald was definitely fun, having that recurring villain. It felt nice to have a lead up into what are these mysteries of Paradigm City, and as you get deeper into it, a lot of these come back to this idea that, people are remembering what exactly happened to the city, or how life was before this big cataclysmic event, and that's ultimately affecting them and just the way that they actually interpret reality in the city. At the same time, it definitely felt like the show wasn't ultimately like wanting to attach itself to that as much as at least presenting the ideas. And part of it just reads a lot to me of a lot of the influences that come around from the show. I know that it's mentioned, at least from the design standpoint, that there's a lot of inspiration from 60s and 70s mech design. I do believe that the person that eventually worked on Mazin Kaiser did work on Big O, and it definitely feels like a blend of a super robot aesthetic, but then mixing that in like with a realer, just serialized narrative and setting. I think there's a lot of like gusto in that. Like I would love to see Columbo with a mech. Like I think that would just be very fun. But then I also think about, this is Sunrise in the late 90s, right like pre 2001. And not only this is not the only show that they are working on. Alongside some success from Gundam OVAs and gearing into serialization on that end, this would also be a show on the tail end of production with Cowboy Bebop. And alongside their work with Batman the Animated Series, it feels like there are so many influences there to try and make this similar to that, but then also trying to match that to that old 60s, 70s aesthetic. Wanting to have episodes that you can just tune in, watch, and it's not going to matter what order you're watching them in because they're supposed to be self-contained and serialized. But at the same time, you're trying to build that story and try to build into what this big mystery is. I decided to also get into the first episode of season 2, which in itself is kind of weird because technically this was supposed to be a whole order of 26 episodes. But because of ratings, they couldn't necessarily complete that second batch until, Toonami ultimately pulled in and said, hey, come by, we'll figure out a way to, get some money in so you could actually finish this up. And it definitely rings more like trying to continue a narrative that you were already building up, but by that point, there would have already been 2 years that have passed between the original airing of the Big O and then getting into the Big O season 2. And I don't know, it's just I look at it a lot more with curiosity. I did enjoy myself ultimately. I thought I had a lot of fun with the characters. I really enjoy Roger Smith. I think, whatever character White and Neon White is supposed to be, I think there is a lot of Roger Smith in there. Mm-hmm. As much as it's easy to go, oh, it's like a Spike Spiegel type. I think there's much more Roger Smith associated. I also think Dorothy is very fun. The Butler is so enjoyable in terms of just having that Alfred Pennyworth. Again, the comparisons are there, but I'm not going to mind it because I like seeing those archetypes
Yeah.
when they show up. I think it's just like there is so much more that the show would want to offer, and part of it is that I have yet to get into season 2, but I was thinking about it, like finishing up on episode 13 where we get introduced to RD, this other android that's supposed to look like Dorothy. We're maybe getting a little bit of this idea that was Roger a kid that was tested on to sustain these memories. What exactly happened to Paradigm City, which may or may not be New York, to make it so that everyone lost their memories and everyone lives in this weird just delineation of haves and have-nots, where the person that may or may not have the key to all that is also just saying, do you really think humans would be capable of possessing the power of God? Which, I mean, yeah. I would be curious to see what gets pulled up there, but I'm thinking about it, just seeing that last shot, not knowing whether or not there would be a season 2 of Dorothy and Roger just piloting the Big O together, getting ready to take care of these foreign mega deuses, and it's just like I wonder the anticipation someone might have felt, or thinking about 2001 opinions on media, just being like, that's it.
Yeah. I feel like trying to structure this in a way that makes sense. I don't want to go all in on Elvie, since obviously she's not here to defend herself or to explain more, but I kind of think her saying that I felt like a citizen of Paradigm City who didn't know what was going on is that's the point, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's literally the point of the show. There's this very there's all these vagaries and this lack of explanation that it's really meant to reflect these people are just doing things, right?
Yeah.
Despite this happen, the world turns on, and there's this emptiness inside of everyone, this feeling of I don't know what's going on, I don't know who I am anymore. Was I someone else? Was I someone better? This idea, and it's not fully fleshed out or anything, but I do think that's the way that everything is delivered does reflect that in a way that I really liked. But I do think also that you are right as well. It is very I think if this had been, as much as I am fascinated and in love with the concept of works that are expanded upon later after a lot of time is given to think about it and what you want to do with it, i.e. Twin Peaks: The Return, for example, it's I really do wonder what would that original next 13 episodes, because there really is the way you structure series composition, you are fixated on an ending, right? You plan out your ending, and then you work your way to that ending most of the time. That's how most shows end up developing.
Yeah.
And this is you have to wonder, what would the path have been that much different from season 2? I bet the ending of season 2 is probably where they were going to go with it, but it's I feel I really do wonder. This is me having seen a lot of season 2 as well at this point. It's such a different vibe that it's I wonder how much would have been it doesn't feel with season 2 that there was a lot of backwards reading where they went back and they read everything and then were okay, I got it, I'm gonna do this is actually foreshadowing this thing that I'm going to do in episode 17 or whatever. It doesn't feel a lot of that. It's such a strange show to me.
No, definitely. I mean, I know that it technically isn't part of the batch of episodes that we saw, but watching episode 14, you mentioned Twin Peaks, it definitely felt so laden with and energy of Twin Peaks, also End of Ava.
Yeah, absolutely. End of Ava. The card
Just-
cuts to like the fields and stuff like that. Like it's very
Yeah, ultimately, I think there is a message of understanding your circumstance. You choose to be the person you are in the now, and that's the most important thing. You can remember, a version of yourself that did exist, but that's already happened. You can't go back and change that. What matters most is being able to actually go forward and, take care of what is actually capable, like what you are capable of controlling. Cast in the name of God, ye not guilty. Does that imply those that are not blinded by this idea of a was? I don't know. That's the way that I could read it. And at the very least, I do understand as well. Like, again, I think Twin Peaks is a very solid, ethos or a point of comparison to bring up in terms of just when you talk about mystery, there's a way to create mystery, uncertainty, suspense, where it's like, oh, there are pieces here that I could try and put together, but I don't know if necessarily everything will fit. And then there is also uncertainty in the fact where, I don't think these pieces are supposed to fit, and it seems like you're trying to make them fit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I, as an outside observer, can notice that. And I feel like it's very easy for things that try and be the former to slip into the latter. I think the Big O definitely has moments where it is like tiptoeing. It's a very, it's very much a tightrope of like going into it, where I can see why LV would say like, hey, I feel like someone who's lost. And in a way where on one hand, to an extent, there's definitely so much, like there were so many moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now. And then, enjoyed enjoyed the falling action of the episode, because it's like, all right, this is what we wanted to get out of it. And then there were definitely some other things where it's like, I guess I won't really like push on it too much, because I at least want to, still psych myself up for what's coming up.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, also, that is the thing I was going to agree with LV, was there are definitely these parts to it that are, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say tokusatsu. It definitely feels a lot more like the Batman the Animated Series alter ego pull out the Batmobile type shit. But it definitely does feel like there are, or on some episodes more than others. Definitely in this case, it really feels like it's like, well, here's the robot fight. We got to have the robot fight in every episode because it's called the Big O. And that in general like feeds into like, this is, despite me liking it, and the reason I think I like it a lot is because of how much charm it has from its presentation standpoint compared to a lot of shows in recent times. For an original anime, especially seeing the amount of like effort put into it is really like good. And we talked, you mentioned this rather in the in our chat about season 2, like seeing how like, oh, they switched to digipad stuff, and it does look different, and it's like it takes away a little bit of charm for me just because of it's like you can tell how much effort was put into it beforehand. Not that you can't see with the other one, but it's a very different vibe.
I mean, there too, I also noticed specifically, and again, it is hard to talk about Big O. See, like, it is hard to not bring up season 2, if only for the fact that there is that lingering sensation of this technically is part of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's like I also noticed in that first episode, like they were cutting lip flaps to match the dub.
Yeah.
Like it very much is, I think, one of those early instances of a U.S. Japanese co-owned like animation series, but specifically, I mean, there were plenty of those in the 80s and the 90s. TMS made so many of your favorite cartoons as a kid, you were basically already watching anime. But in this way, where it is still so, a Japanese presenting show, but then again, it's the back and forth of, animation that is inspired by the 60s and 70s. What were those animators inspired by? A lot of those early Disney comics and cartoons and Fleischer animation. And so it, circles around. There is so much I can think about in regard to the Big O as an aesthetic, drop of just how so many things are going on in this back and forth dialogue. And that's not even touching anything else about the plot, the shadowing of more or less having this superhero whose superpower is having means to whatever it is that he needs to take care of, to having this idea of a serialized version of an anime, which they exist, they're around. It's not like they're impossible, but it very much is something that mimics the aesthetic, not just of a Mazinger Z or a, Tetsujin 28. It's also matching those early detective comics.
Mm-hmm. It really just felt like when I was watching it that it was just the most, we're making an original series and we're going to just fuck around and see what sticks while we're figuring out how to get somewhere. And then it's like, oh shit, we don't have time to get to the place we want to go. Mm-hmm. The only other main thing I was going to say was with regards to Dorothy, all-timer, love her so much. I really wish the fucking show wouldn't damsel her all the time. Because it's man, just let her talk, let her go along and let her just say her shit to Roger, and that would be fine. But man, it was
the cat one really sticks out to me.
Yeah, it was that one, and then wasn't the fucking next episode the Beck episode even right after that? I don't.
Yes.
And it's just back to back. It's just and it's not that bad because it's man, listen, I know how dire views on women were in 1999, but in media, anyways, specifically. But it's just and it's not outwardly offensive or anything. It's just the type of thing where it's man, you made this great character. Don't you want her to do stuff? Mm-hmm. Instead of just using her as a plot device. She's so much fun. They clearly have so much fun with animating her, foleying her. Like you said earlier, it's great. You love to see her fucking just an expressionless face just fucking being you fucking suck, Roger. And it's
You're a louse,
it's
Smith.
fucking great every time. It's just man, you guys don't know how good this thing you have is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about, John? I think in general, I was very positive on this series, even though if I agree with parts of Maverick's criticism, it was just I'm very much the type of person who gets caught up in a vibe, and I'm if the vibe is good, I'm fucking stoked.
Oh yeah,
I was the same here. It was just a blast. All the cool moments, very very memorable. This is definitely the kind of thing where I mean, again, I might have watched it as a kid, but I'm starting to believe I didn't, because if I did, I probably would have more memories of being on the playground and accidentally punching my friends in the face,
trying to do the thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
play acting
thing,
video. Yeah. Because I have plenty of memories of doing the same thing, doing that for Pokemon and Dragon Ball. So yeah, I probably would have been obsessed with Big O as a kid, and now as an adult, I'm watching this and I'm just oh fuck, I gotta go buy a poster or something. That's the kind of thing it is to me. I just love the vibes.
It's definitely a solid mech design.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It, the robot itself is just fucking cool to look at, and like I said earlier about how they love to showcase how it works. You could just see that because they loved it so much, they were able to showcase all the different things it could do. You're just like, yeah, it can shoot a beam out of its head. Yeah, it's got like missiles and shit. Oh man, that's so cool. How's that gonna work? Well, this is how it's gonna work. Here's how it does it.
I think
Love it, love it, love it.
that's my problem with season 2, honestly, just from the get-go. Like I don't want to talk too much about season 2, but it's like there's this very like big move away from the cool like sorry to say tactile again. I can't remember the word I was thinking of the entire time I was watching it. But just like that really like visceral like moving parts stuff, they get away from it and then they just start making like fucking Razafon mechs that he's fighting, and like they do this thing where it's like, oh look, here's the Big O's HUD, it's not just that message scrolling, and it's like, well, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of like mech animators, designers, and stuff are also just military and like mechanic otaku.
Yeah, and I guess it's just like
Part of it.
that's where it was going right at that point. Evangelion was so fixated on HUDs, right, that it was like,
Yeah, which I mean, again, Ano is definitely someone that like pound for pound will go on about the inner machinations of stuff, but definitely was doing his own perspective of that. You know, how does an AT field work? How does the LCL fluid work? Here, it was still in that very, like, I immediately think about stuff like Gao Gaigar, which are very, or like, well, yeah, no, fucking Ano made Gunbuster, so he's very,
yeah,
he knows how to make a robot look like it's got guts in it. And, you know, Big O does something very similar, and ultimately it is from the fact that you're just pulling from one cluster of otaku, and then when you have to broaden that scope, which ultimately is what happened for season 2, you know, what kind... There's no American kid, like, actively naming the different, like, fighter planes that were, like, around for different, like, media. They didn't have Tintin. This is a message to give your local small child a copy of lots and lots of trains or lots and lots of planes.
and one day they'll grow up and draw the sickest shit of all time.
Yeah.
You ever just love to see a thing get built?
Absolutely. Very off topic here. The only part of Red Dead Redemption 2 that I liked when I was playing that was there's an entire sequence where they show them building an entire ranch, and I'm like, oh yes, this is great. I love seeing
Hell yeah.
fucking build the floorboards. Yeah, fucking put up those stupid frames. Let's fucking go.
Well, we do have
Yeah.
some written in comments and a question.
Drop
So-
it off.
If you want to send one in, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And both of these are from Robin. Rose, you could just like holler across the house and just be like, hey, come read these now. First off is the comment here. I have a lot of nostalgia, but I think it's easy to see how Big O blew a lot of kids' minds when they saw it on Cartoon Network 2 decades ago. Dorothy Owens and the Go Nagai type super robots work with the anachronistic Z retro Batman world design super well. Tomatoes are best plucked ripe.
The tomatoes.
That was a good bit.
They get more into the tomatoes even.
Good. And then question here. If you had a summonable super robot with a really dumb name like Big Duo or Giant Robot, what would it be?
Oh.
I would want something that's like... I'm like closing my eyes and I'm like envisioning something here. I need something with wings.
I'm sorry?
I need something with wings.
I am going on a horse named Generator.
So you're going for like a name here. I was just thinking about a design. Like I'm just sitting there like I want wings. I want a big face, and I want a spear. That's my concept.
Spear's
for a
good.
robot.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now after you just saying that all of this that it's absolutely I was liking the mechs in this because it very much reminded me of Gurren Lagann instead of Gundam, which I have been watching recently. It was a lot more like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like when mechs are dumb. I like when people don't know what they're doing with them. I think it's good. I'm gonna name mine Reaper's Curse because I'm always saying that from Tales of Berseria, and it'll be really cool, and it'll have a scythe like that cool Gundam from that bad Gundam.
Oh, Death Scythe?
Yeah, Death Scythe, that one. It'll be really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones.
That's a good Gundam series.
Oh, not a good Gundam.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I say. It's the good one from the bad one.
Yeah. Naming it fucking All I Need. Or that would be like my call sign. It'd be like, All I Need.
That would be really good, though, is the thing. I like that. Because I can picture you as a Big O villain doing that right now.
I'm trying to think, like, what it would... I mean, fucking...
Ooh. I am using the horse name generator, and I think I got a good one for a robot. Lunatic Lottery.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the design would be. I might... It's tough, because there's so many mech designs, and, like...
And you can keep going, too, past what exists currently. Just go with a vibe that's... like, what is your favorite type of weapon?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because there's my favorite type of weapon, but then there's what would I want a robot
What would you
to
want
have?
your robot's favorite weapon to be?
Not gonna lie, like... A little... Like, a fucking Tachi doesn't hurt. But that's because I did just play, like, Cold Steel.
I didn't want to say it, but... Like, also,
trying
how
to
can
get
you
away
resist
from
the
that.
Tachi in general as a mech? That's like the iconic.
I'm trying to get away from just saying I want to be the fucking Ashen Chevalier.
There's nothing wrong with
Because I
that.
don't. Well, ultimately, I'm not a fan of, like, Valamar's design.
Uh-huh.
Like, give me a Tachi, but do something closer to, like, Gunbuster.
Sure.
And then give it, like, a cloak. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, first of all, that's like the number one thing. Remember when they showed that fucking Master Chief with this fucking Snuggie or whatever, like, for that one game? It was like, that looks sick as hell, though. It's really cool anytime they do that. When it's on Shadow the Hedgehog, when it's on a fucking mech, it's even better, because it's like, that mech is wearing clothes.
Base.exe.
Exactly.
Base.exe is the best concept ever.
It's the fucking sickest shit of all time. And to think of it even better when it's like, this is a cloth that is like 300 feet tall. Right? Like, this is a fucking cape that had to be custom made.
And technically, Gunbuster already has that.
Yeah.
It does the Buster Shield. Oh,
Gunbuster's so
I
fucking
like
good.
robots. Gunbuster's great. Again, no hate on anybody that has watched Evangelion. I think there's so many people that have benefited from the views of Evangelion. I've literally watched everything around it, and I feel like I don't need to watch it. Or rather, the catharsis that I would experience from that narrative, I have already felt through experiencing Noriko, through experiencing Diebuster, through experiencing Fooly Cooly, through experiencing Gurren Lagann. Would Dorothy be into Ava?
I think she would think it was pretentious. Even though it's, like, really not.
She'd be like, who is that blue-haired woman?
Roger Smith, do you think we have a case for this? Should I call up our lawyers?
Well, and they're the fucking ones who...
You're like, nah, Dorothy, the less we say, the better.
Don't bring it up.
Don't stir the pot. Don't stir the pot. All right. Is that enough about the Big O then for now? Do we want to move on?
I like, last thing,
Yeah?
I like how much of a little, like, fucking, like, to the brim prim and proper motherfucker Roger Smith is. We all have to wear black. In the morning, I need someone playing the piano so that I can gently wake up.
Yeah,
And
not
I make
too
sure that
much.
I have my dinner. Every single night, I have my dinner prepared, unless I have to say otherwise.
It's very funny.
Like, that's very much what a Bruce Wayne type would do.
My favorite thing about him is still there's just like little subtle character things for him where it's just like he knows he can get away with anything. He's very like, I'm a little guy, what are you gonna do? Like all the time. Where it's just like there's like when he goes and visits fucking Dustin at the at his
Like the
military
precincts?
police place, and he's just
Yeah.
always going through his file cabinets, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's just like, "Oh, haha!" Like every time,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, he's just a little fucking motherfucker. It's great. I think I really do. Again, I'm not finished the second season, so I can't judge completely. But I just really wish that this had a full like 13 episodes immediately after. Just
I
'cause
mean, I think, yeah.
I'd be fascinated. I'd just be fascinated to see like, would it have the same problem where it like keeps spinning its wheels for a while? Would it have figured out where it's going? Was it really like going to start like proper, like sort of like how Gurren Lagann like opens up after its time skip, right? Like that type of thing. Like just really, it's been so long since I've had to think about like a what if like this. I think because everything is just so like, yeah, either they just sort of sunk cost fallacy it like the aquarium anime where it just is going, or they just like it just exists and it's like fine, I guess. Like
Yeah.
fucking back arrow stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, it's, man,
So can we say that we have come to terms with
yeah,
Rodrigo?
no to be continued this
Absolutely.
time. It's fine, we have come to terms. They haven't been doing that in season 2 at all.
Man. Theming. American.
Oh,
ones.
that's one
Gotta-
more thing. The phone call at the end of every episode to tell the next episode
So
title.
good.
So fucking good. They nailed it. They got it. That's such a great idea. More people need to fuck around with their next time on. Because you can make something really special if you do. I always love the fucking Common Writer ones, especially for Build, where it's just like them fucking around every time. Like, oh, I guess I'm reading this time. Fuck. Like that type of thing. It's great. It's good. It adds a lot of character.
Yeah.
Now we've come to terms.
Now we've come to terms. But no, speaking of character, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's the best way to. You want to talk about some bad characters, Maverick?
Oh boy.
I want to pick your brain about Teppen, whose second episode was canceled because Shinzo Abe fucking ate it. What's going on?
What is going on with Teppen? I mean, so with the third episode, they finally like subtitled the rap at the beginning, which I realized, oh, okay, each group is getting a chance to like introduce themselves and actually like go on a bit about their like thing. I believe they're also trying to do a thing where the beginning is introduced by like a comedy routine by one of the groups, and then they bookend it later at the end. And I'd be more into that if only it weren't for the fact that they want to focus on, I would say, their least interesting like team, who are also the protagonists. So this third episode had the girls from Bullet Kunoichi working. They started with like some like dumbbell contest, like lift the dumbbell, see if you're a winner. And it's Bullet Kunoichi and Akadari Kingdom, I think their name is. The three girls that are not the protagonists, and then the Country Bumpkins, for lack of a better like delineation. They get to go be on like a Batsu game, basically like, oh, you'll come, you'll compete, uh, you'll do like stunts and stuff, and we're gonna have like fun laughing at your reaction. But oh twist, the dude that's doing it like wants this to be a like a fantasy fulfillment thing. So like, oh, this girl's gonna run through a door to get an incorrect answer and land on a like nice mattress instead of like getting tarred and feathered or whatever. We're gonna do rock paper scissors. And whoever gets it races to hit you with the squeaky hammer, and then if you lose we're gonna paint your face, and then we're gonna do it with like actually giving you really nice makeup, which that bit is fine. I get it, and I think there's at least enough like fun to be had of like these girls being like, no, we want to get fucked up, like if you're making us do Jackass, let us do Jackass. Like, please let me humiliate myself for the sake of comedy. Do not just make me, like, all spruced up and whatever. And we find out with, like, the girls in Bulakunichi, one of them is actually the daughter of, like, a husband and wife Manzai team. And it's like, oh, you're technically, like, comedic royalty or whatever. And then we get to the end of the episode where it's like, it's coming down to this idea of like, oh, I don't want to be prim and proper. I want to be fucking nuts and wild. Because one of the other ones is also like getting propositioned to be like an idol.
Oh,
and
of course.
Just leads to this whole like ending paintball team. Like, oh man, everyone's messed up and stuff. Like, we like, this isn't pretty. This isn't proper. This isn't girls. What happened to my show? And then young YY shows up. Because I guess that they were doing a delivery for lunch. And the guy loves them so much that he makes them do an idol song. And they're embarrassed that they're competent idols. And then the episode ends on like the character insert song that they did.
Ugh.
And it's like, I did not see these characters all day. They showed up like once to set up a decent like punchline for like the rich girl team and like the one like moocher, where it's like, oh, we're gonna go do like a takoyaki at so and so's restaurant. Oh, is there a gig? Like, is this a paid gig? No. Okay, see ya. Like, that's fine. That's fun. They're just the blandest team. And the 3-person Manzai structure really is just showing like how weak that is as a concept, because with 2 people you can at least say, okay, do I like the funny wise guy more, or do I like the brick wall straight man more? Do I like the over the top scenario building, or do I like the reaction? Just the inability to comprehend what's going on. It makes it easier to say what you prefer, and also, to an extent, build your own understanding of comedy. Oh, do I appreciate the scenario, or do I appreciate the punchline, the reaction? Here, it's just like, again, everyone is having to support these 2 pillars, which is weird, because then it just means that, like, for every team, it's just like, oh, there's one unfunny one. And it just happens to be, like, not that they're not the straight man, but it's just like, oh, who is the least interesting person out of this trio? Oh, in the Country Bumpkins, there's the nice-looking one, the other nice-looking one, and then, like, the runt who just comes across as a brat versus, actually fiercely, in love with her prefecture. The aliens still don't do much. The rich girl who's just mooching off of everybody is probably the best character in this whole gaggle, and everybody in Young YY I just do not care about.
I think, like, in general, the idea of episode 3 of your show with this immediately pivoting to, like, talking about idol stuff just really reflects a lack of, I don't want to
I mean, it's
say,
such
like,
a
originality, but, like, interest in actually expanding upon your core concept before falling back on the old standby.
it's a flash in the pan kind of reaction.
Yeah.
I think there is a genuine through line and a plot point there of like, oh no, we want to be, women who do manzai comedy. We want to be funny. We want to do jokes. We don't want to put ourselves through the veneer of an idol or a personality that's primarily being sold on our cuteness factor. Even though, every single team is designed to have members that are cute and appealing to eventually sell merch. There are 15 characters for you to latch on to so that you can at least get one that you can eventually buy like a figure or a keychain of. But we won't say that out loud.
Yeah.
Because we want to still put up this idea. Like, I don't know. I should probably drop Teppen, but I'm still just...
You want to see,
just
like,
curious.
what can happen? Like, will it become something?
Yeah. Like I laughed at the rock, paper, scissors bit because someone kept getting hit with, like, a squeaky hammer.
Yeah. That's classics.
Yeah, that's classics of joke. But... I don't know, just showed Shinzo getting murked.
I think it's very
probably
funny.
would've been-
Everyone talking about Licorice Recoil is going to be canceled, and it was fucking Teppen instead. Like,
Well, no,
just
see?
the insanity.
When they're shooting guns as, extensions of the state, then it's good.
You just talk about Licorice Recoil first, real quick. I'm only on episode 2, so I don't have that much to say. I was just going to say, I think it's great that... Because I was kind of worried that when people were suggesting that, like, oh, geez, maybe it will get taken down, because it's like... It is in favor of the Japanese state, but it's clearly, like, a sense of commentary, right? To an extent of, like, hey, this is why Japan's crime rate is so low, haha,
Yeah.
that type of thing. But it's like, I'm glad that this is still going. In general, for an original anime, this has had a much stronger first 2 episodes than most that I have seen in recent times.
Yeah.
I think it moves along at a good click. Time will tell whether or not the pacing's all the way there, obviously. But slowly opening up around these characters, it's pretty good to me. It's pretty good.
I definitely think it passes the 3 episode test, just because third one, comes back to sort of what was established out of episode 1 and really sets in motion sort of I think it really gets into what the show wants to talk about, what it might want to look at in the future, and I don't know, it at least feels like it's very tongue-in-cheek about, like, oh, this is the reason why Japan is, like, such a great state, or such a great nation, because, we have people in the shadows actively taking care of, like, stains on, like, society. But at the same time, there is at least a want to be able to say, like, the truth is that there is someone that is actively trying to be considerate of people, and regardless of the people that, like, have to either order her or stick around her, like, that altruism is ultimately what's going to, like, help a lot of these situations. Fucking... trying to remember her name. The blonde one. Chisato.
Okay, I was going to say Chisei for some reason.
No, Chisato is honestly a very good character.
Yeah.
And it works that she is the support. Like, just such strong writing and characterization.
Yeah, my only concern at this moment is for Takina. She's been fine so far, but it's like, I think my concern is only coming from how many girls in anime there are that look and talk exactly like her, you know? So it's like I'm projecting the like beyond the boundary girl onto her, basically.
Yeah.
People like that.
Again, I think like episode 3 definitely solidifies an arc for her at least, and even like shows the progress into that arc.
Yeah. I really hope this ends up salvaging my hope for there being good original anime in the modern era. Because I know I've been saying it so many times over the last couple of years that, like, man, every time I watch an original anime, I'm like, what is going on here?
Birdie Wing season 2.
Okay, yeah, we do got that though. Oh, we do got that though.
Yeah.
Man. January, right? That's what they said.
Should be January, yeah.
Sick. Oh, Birdie Wing's so fucking good. See, I just don't even consider it in the same field. I'm just like, that's Birdie Wing.
Right.
That's different, you know? That's,
Yeah.
Birdie Wing is for geniuses only.
I don't know if I'd say that, but it's,
It's a real 5-head anime.
it's made by a bunch of geniuses, that's for sure. John, you can talk
Hi.
about this just because I'm curious about it in general. Uncle from Another World, the Sega series, as it might be known as, to an extent.
All right. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of people were interested in the show because a lot of the like Sega heads out there were talking it up. Because yeah, there's like a manga that's been going on for a good while. And yes, the titular uncle is a Sega nerd. So for those of you who don't know, the basic conceit is it is a show about a man who was isekai'd. He was hit by a truck and is in a coma for 17 years, but he wakes up and his nephew, who's now like 18, 19, I guess, something around that, like now an adult, is the only one who cares to take care of him now because like the family basically tore itself apart trying to like basically shove care of the uncle onto them. But the uncle reveals that while he was in the coma, he was in fact isekai'd, and he has all the powers that he got still in the real world. So they promptly use those powers to become very slightly famous on YouTube. Like enough to like pay the bills basically, but that's it. And so it's the whole show is basically just it's two types of jokes. It is the uncle is out of touch and geez, isekai is really dumb, isn't it? But I think both
right.
of them are but both of them are good. Like the isekai jokes are not like they're the kind of jokes that you would expect, but I just think they're really well done. Like one of my favorite jokes that they've done. Sorry to kind of explain a joke here.
Oh, that's fine.
But like the show starts off in 2017. And then it goes into the start of 2018. Like they are very specific about the time, and they are because the uncle like reveals that he met an elf girl who was verbally unkind to him but helped him out in his travels. And the uncle the entire time is just like, yeah, she was saying all kinds of mean stuff to me. Why would I want her around? I kept trying to ditch her. And the nephew is just sitting there like, oh my god, he got isekai'd before he watched Tsundere Girl anime. He doesn't know how lucky he was. Like, it's just jokes like that, like making fun of these tropes, and like it's all in like a loving way. So it's not just like, oh, we're doing this, but we're making fun of it. And like, I think that all in all, it is just like it's just funny. It is just a well-structured comedy that I think if you are aware of anime tropes, you can get a kick out of. Like, it's definitely not something that I could be like, oh, everyone should watch this. But, like anyone who's just like an anime dweeb and understands what they're making fun of would absolutely eat this up. It's just funny. It's just a funny, well done show that I definitely think you two would enjoy it.
I will definitely give it a whirl because I was waiting for you to test it out for me because I've been burned on this type of thing before, obviously.
No, yeah, it definitely seems like it was definitely a show. Like as I was sitting down to watch it, I was just like, yeah, this is definitely something that could very easily just be very boring, very just trite, or just like inappropriate, or just like gross. You know, just being like, oh yeah, he's the shithead uncle who's gonna be doing gross sex shit in another world or whatever. But no, they very much just make it to be like very goofy. It is very goofy, and like it just has a lot of fun with the tropes that it has, and like just yucks it up about it. Like I mean, again, if you wanna know how specific they get into it, I watched the newest episode, so there's 3 episodes out so far, and the inciting incident of the 3rd episode is that at the start of 2018, YouTube updated their policies and made it harder for smaller YouTubers to make money. So they're like, "Fuck, we need to get another couple hundred subscribers, because if we don't, we're not going to make any money because of fucking YouTube."
I do like that.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that is that the comedy comes from. It's dweeby shit, but it's dweeby shit that like nerds these days get, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right. That's like the main thing that I was worried about is like there's so many of these series. Like I remember the worst one of all time early on, like I don't even have to name one specific one, but just like all the Sword Art Online shit, right? Like all the like things like Sword Art Online and Sword Art Online itself are like not actually based on reality or anything. It's just envisioning this like fake world and this fake idea of what video games are.
Yeah, like sometimes it is funnier to just like have like a character like vaguely reference a thing that's real, or you know have like a stand-in for something, or like censor it or whatever. But here, I think the comedy is actively added to by like having them very explicitly talk about like you know the nephew, like the uncle being like how's Sega doing, or like what are the big consoles right now, and the nephew just being like, yeah, Sony and Nintendo are the big ones, and he's like, what about Sega? And he's like, dude, Sega hasn't made a console in ages, you know, like it's just like the fact that they're actually like using the names of the companies and all that does actually add to the comedy. And so yeah, I would absolutely recommend it to y'all. It is funny. It is just a very funny show.
I will probably give it a whirl then. Because I was waiting for you, your safety warning, basically.
No, absolutely.
You know full well how I think about isekai. So, I mean, even in the previews, I was at least like, oh, this at least sounds neat.
Yeah, I really did just watch too much fucking isekai that it's like, even when I was like, for the longest time, like I was like, you know, I like my ReZeros, I like my, you know, like stuff like that. Like there can be good things in the isekai. I love my stupid slime anime, stuff like that. And then it's just like, oh, like there's just so much dire shit out there. There's just, I think
it's the kind of thing where it's just like there are definitely good isekai out there, but it is definitely it is not the norm, which is the big bummer about
very
it.
much not.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, they are very much just like making fun of a lot of that stuff. But I also feel like the people that are making Uncle from Another World like do kind of enjoy that concept.
Yeah, they're working
or at the very
in.
least they don't hate it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, we're just like lightly ribbing this. We're having a good time, and we're more making jokes about the characters and the like the way that they act, instead of just like yeah, that's the thing, is they are making fun of the tropes, but they are also using those tropes and making fun of those tropes to make jokes about the characters. Like that is why it succeeds, I feel like, is because it is about characters first and not just like parody. They have all these like layers to it. It is not just one thing. It is multiple things working together.
Yeah.
So we could expect Uncle from Another World to hit the USA block sometime soon.
I don't know. We'll see. It is a Netflix exclusive, so I don't know if anyone's going to be swooping that up. But
Yeah.
they are actually releasing it week to week though, which is nice. Thankfully, it is just
Right, they have moved on to that. Thankfully, for it seems like since last season, I think was when they started doing it, because it was like, I really do think, like, as silly as it say, I think that is what made people not talk about part 6 of JoJo so much compared to all the other parts. Like, just
it definitely didn't help.
no.
We I talked about this, or my friend brought this up when we were at the beach. People like having an event.
Yeah, they like having
And
a
when you-
ritual too.
Yeah, you like having a ritual. You like having a thing to come back to. It's why, a little bit off topic, but everyone getting really excited for the rehearsal is for all good reason. One, because, Nathan Fielder is good at what he does. But two, that is a week-to-week event that you can go to, talk with people about, and just enjoy. I think we're retroactively seeing a return to episodic weekly viewing. Just because, like, we've done binge watching. We have had an excess. The binge portion of that is now fully, like, viable there. And not to say, like, oh, you can never do it. Like, the idea of watching a series in its totality at your own time is still there and available. But if you actually want to create a sort of buzz about it and actually have discussion, you need to have that ritualistic, event-focused element to it. And, I mean, anime has not deviated from that for the most part, so that makes it very easy to continue. Even just, the fact that every other week we come by and, like, talk about what's been going on.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just glad that we're all able to enjoy these sorts of things more, especially because like I talk to like coworkers about the rehearsal, and it's just like nice to be like, yes, this is something that I can recommend to people, and they have an episode to catch up with, not like, oh, hey,
not
by
a
the way,
whole
here's
thing.
this,
Yeah,
here's this like 9 episodes that you're gonna have to
that
devote your
fucking
time to.
man. When I found out that Stranger Things season finale is like 2 hours long, I was like, what are we doing, folks?
Yeah.
Like, what? Anyways, anime. You know what's not good in anime? Is
What?
Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer anime? It was really bad.
Oh.
Yeah, Rose. I like tweeted this out, and I've expressed this to you multiple times. Like, I feel so bad for you and like the other Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer fans, because like this is something y'all have been waiting for a long time,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's this half-assed, like poorly made.
It's just like I don't even know.
Yeah, talk more about it.
Yeah, so my main thing is I came away from this all with a prevailing notion of why even bother making this? Like, what's the point? Like, this is a series that is, I think this is the 15th anniversary, I think that's the case. That was why this was announced to begin with. Maybe 20th? I think it's 15. But anyways, like, you're making an anniversary, 15 years. You're making an anniversary series for your anime or for your manga. Your like emotional manga series about like opening up and working your way through trauma and stuff. And you're like, I'm gonna make it look like fucking oh my god, how have I already forgotten what it's fucking called again? It looks like the fucking Gleipnir anime. That's what it looks like. It has this horrible, like, fucking 2008 military shooter filter over everything that makes it brown and orange. Everything's, like, moving like really slow. It's poorly animated, like... And that all is, like... I have, like... a fondness in my heart for things like badly animated anime. Like, I love Fate Stay Night Dean, like the Studio Dean anime adaptation, just because it's like there's something charming about how bad it is almost. And And it's like there isn't any charm here. They're accelerating through what is already like a short chapter in like the most insane way possible, where you're not given any time to like actually reflect on what's happening. We're just sort of moving along. There's this thing that happens a lot in light novel adaptations that we've talked about. Like I remember when we watched Haruhi and I was complaining about how it was like they hadn't quite figured out how to make a Monogatari series yet. So like the entire series was a lot of a fucking main dude of Haruhi just talking in his head or whatever. In a way that was really unelegant, unlike, you know, like when you have Araragi talking Bakemonogatari, you get all these insane illustrations and cuts and stuff. This is the same thing as the fucking Haruhi thing, where it's like, but except they're not showing the dude's internal monologue at all. Instead, so it's like where if I would say like a normal bad adaptation of this would be like the Haruhi thing. This is just completely other direction. Like they're not expressing any of his internal thoughts at all. So this dude seems like a sociopath. The main character,
Such a weird concept.
it's just insane. Like the whole thing with the main character is in the manga. There's a lot of not to get into spoiler. I'm just going to talk about stuff that's in volume 1 or whatever. There's a lot of stuff going in with the main character where it's talking about his past, how he like his abusive grandfather and other stuff, and how like that taught him like to be basically like apathetic and misanthropic. Like this idea that like everyone is out to get you, so you shouldn't make friends and stuff like that. And like the series is about him gradually like working away from that and stuff like that. And they show this through like this like illustration of like him in chains, like when he's upset or whatever like that. They show the chains for like a split second here. In the manga, they show it constantly. Like it's like a mental blog. Like they'll show his inner monologue and they'll show like chains. Like it's this very like deliberate, intentional metaphor, and the show just doesn't get it. It's just like, all right, those chains, just draw them in chains once. I don't know. And the real thing that got me is that at the end of the episode, there's this whole thing where it's supposed to be like, oh, the main character's like, well, why would I want to help you stop the biscuit hammer? Why do I give a shit about that or whatever? And the girl's like, well, I want to stop the biscuit hammer because I want to destroy the world. And because that's like the whole conceit of the comic is like this girl's twisted in her own way or whatever, and she's going to do this specific like that's what wins him over. Is he's like, fuck yeah, okay, you're fucking crazy with it or whatever, sure, let's do it. And in the show, it's just like he's actually scared of the biscuit hammer. Like he's actually like, oh damn, that's fucked up. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna destroy it. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like, what are you doing? It's just like, I don't understand why this was made. It just feels like it was made by people who don't like, you know, like that those articles that were going around a few years ago about how there's a ton of people with rising literacy rates and stuff like that, where like they're being taught in kindergarten and early grade school stuff to just read the pictures instead of the actual words and like derive a context from them just from the pictures. That's like very much what this anime feels like. Like it feels like up. They just looked at the manga as a picture book instead of like actually being text, which is insane because like Planet With, it's a very like text, like inner monologue, like heart to heart style series. It's just fuck, man. I don't know why they made this. It's really sad. Because I think this could have been like a nice little addition to like, even if this had been like a I try to think of a low key studio in anime right now, but it's just like, I don't know, like Lucifer Biscuit Hammer has that sort of art style that's very like budget manga in general, if you know what I'm saying. And it's like, I would have been fine if it was just like, you know, a bad mid 2000s anime adaptation or something, but like this is so much worse. It's
like a Clamp.
Yeah, like a Clamp. I think that would be great. Like, I think that would work just fine. Like, I'd see one be like, well, they sort of like sped through a lot of stuff, but it's fine, you know? Like, that's what I was hoping for at the worst case scenario. Instead, this is like, I don't know why this was made. I don't know why this was made at all, because it's not like Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer's like a barn burner, you know? Like, it's not like it's the big thing. Like, it's not like it's a... Like, I love it. It's a fantastic work, but it's not like a hidden gem that everyone's, like, hyping up all the time, right? Like...
It's an obscure niche story that if they, would have, like, they if they were going to make a big deal out of making an adaptation, they should have put effort into it.
Yeah.
Instead of just crapping out something. Like, because if this was the quality that it was when, like, if they had made something like this when that manga was coming out, it would have made sense. But, like, here it's like we are celebrating this amazing story that we know that you all love from the past, and then it's just like, anyway, here's this turd, we brought it from the street.
And it's just like, why? Like, once I found out that this is the studio that's made oh god, fucking, is it My First Girlfriend's a Gal, and that's like it, I think.
Oh,
I think that's it. I'm gonna have to check this again real quick.
God, that is dire.
That is, it's the people who made all they've made is My First Girlfriend is a Gal, Infinite Dendrogram, if you remember me fucking talking about that, how that was like one of the worst adaptations I had ever seen for something, where it just made no sense a couple years ago.
Invaded.
And fucking Dramatical Murder. In Invaded was like maybe the best thing they've done. And even that,
I believe it.
Even that was like, that came out the same year as Somnium Files, and it's just worse Somnium Files. It's like,
They've worked on Termai, Romai, Novi.
Oh, and of course, My Sister, My Writer.
Right.
Of course.
It's like
who could forget?
Yeah. Because you were
you could give this. Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about it before it came out. When we were talking about the studio that was making it or whatever. That it was the Thermai, Romai, Novi people or whatever. And then it was like, you can get away with it being like very budget when you're doing like a tiny little thing like that. You know, it's not something with like a history behind it.
I mean, like, I was thinking about it. If you want something that at least is not like breaking the bank with budget, but still knows how to work with what it's there, JC Staff.
Yeah, honestly, JC Staff would be better. I would take a bad.
Really did really good job with Executioner. And
yeah, that's true.
Also worked on Demon Girl.
I was even say, like, with how bad a lot of A1 Pictures ones are, I would take a bad A1 Pictures one over this. Like, genuinely, I would take a budget bad A1 Pictures joint over whatever the fuck is going on here.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, with Licorice, it feels like A1 is actually, like, getting to be A1.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Kaguya, right? Like, it's... when they want to go for it, they fucking go for it. And then the rest of the time, it feels like they're just not paying people.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking about it as soon as I remembered that this was even up there. This reminds me of fucking Hoshin Engi.
I don't know if I know that. Let me see.
So Hoshin Engi is like this manga that came out from like 96 to 2000. 23 volumes. You may have never actually like seen anything for it because it was serialized. But it's like it's one of those things that it's like, oh, this is definitely something that people like gleaned into in the formative like ooze of anime prior to like, you know, the quote unquote big three being a staple. But in 2018 they finally made an anime adaptation for it, and people like were livid because of the way that it got treated. Not because it's like this is necessarily a series that has like a level of prestige to it, but it's just like, you know, why this anime after so many years, after like so many people that would still be on board for it are probably just like, maybe I'll watch it, I don't know, it's been a while, and then to just botch it in a way that people do not care about what's going on.
I just want to be at the meetings. I want to be at the meetings where they're like, even just with, I don't know who would handle this. Like, you'd have to assume the creator has some say in it, right? And it's just like, how do you go there and you're like, yeah, The studio that made My First Girlfriend's a Gal and Dramatical Murder, I think I want you to do my sad trauma story. Like, I don't get it. It's like, because it's not even like Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer is like a complex thing to animate. That's the thing that really gets me. It's a lot of just talking, and they still fuck it up. Oh. Anyways, I'm not making myself suffer anymore with this. So this is the only time you're going to hear anything from me about it. I'm not going to torture myself, because it was like, it hurt me. It hurt me deep seeing it like that.
It's a bummer.
I only read that series like 3 years ago or something, and I still thought, like, I thought it was amazing when I read it. And it's just like, man, a curse upon this world. Maverick, I do want to pick your brain about Dawn Brothers. I'm a little behind you, since I'm always behind you for some godforsaken reason with everything. But Dawn Brothers, it's an insane program, right?
It is wild.
It is like, you want to talk like unrestrained series.
So I feel like there is some setting of the stage to get into.
Yeah, yeah.
There is. It is a show that is very much tied to the history of Super Sentai. So, we've talked a lot about Kamen Rider on this show. We have definitely gone into a bit about how Tokusatsu is the save it, like bits and pieces, where Ultraman is definitely seen as a staple of Japan, maybe not as immediately out in the wild as, other aspects. Kamen Rider hits this even towing of, like, still popular in Japan, pretty popular in the States. It's now seeing multiple, like, Blu-ray releases, attempts to bring more content legally into the States and just make it more accessible. It's interesting to see that come up. Super Sentai, while definitely, maybe second oldest with the creation of Go Ranger, has been consistently on air of, like, those three, with, Ultraman starting in, like, the late 60s and then having some on and off continuations. Kamen Rider having a break during the 90s, save for its movies, and then just really stepping into early 2000s Heisei writers. Super Sentai has been consistently around, had its success, or had its recognition through the Bastardheim Saban, adapting it into Power Rangers.
Oh.
But, that is just one series of the multiple that they have went ahead and created. And when you have a series running for that long, there is moments where you kind of have to think, like, how much longer can we let this series continue? How much longer can we be able to perpetuate what we have going here? And Super Sentai is not unknown to have those moments. It's just that very recently, it's definitely been seeing another dip in terms of toy sales, in terms of, I would say, just public opinion, interest. If you asked me, like, a few years ago, like, or if you would ask, I think, the average quote-unquote Tokusatsu fan, they would usually say, like, oh, Kamen Rider's where I go to for the stories and stuff. Super Sentai usually feels a little too kiddie.
Yeah.
Even though it's, ultimately still stuff for a child to consume and to, like, get product out of, but that still speaks to the level of narrative. I don't really agree with that, because when I heard it, it was like ToQger and Gaim, and I have like 180 of my opinions of both. Go watch ToQger.
Yeah.
But
oh man, I didn't even.
I mean, yeah, no,
the man himself.
Yep. But here it leads us to Avatara Sentai Dawn Brothers, a Super Sentai series, which is a direct sequel, more or less, of the Tokusatsu series before it, Zenkaiger, which is the anniversary show. Penned by trying to remember his full name, penned by Inoue, someone who already has been a part of this. Toshiki Inoue. A writer for a lot of different Tokusatsu series, has worked on Kamen Rider Faiz, Kamen Rider Kiva, Zio, has worked on Gokaiger, another anniversary Sentai series. Specifically here to note, he worked on Chojin Sentai Jetman. And that is more or less seen by some people as another example of, Sentai being now 20 years old, and they don't know whether or not it's going to really have legs, or 15, 17. It's been a few years now since that original Go Ranger. Is there still something left in the tank? And in a way, writing Jetman is sort of a way to say, hey, here's a new example. Here's a new formula that we can use to go forward so that we can still keep this running. And, we come to... Basically has not written a Sentai series in 10 years. But then they're like, bro, we need you to help us out. And he's like, all right, let's see what we can do. And so we have something that's focused on the story of Momotaro, an old Japanese folktale of, kid born from a peach, is very dutiful to his parents, adoptive parents, and ultimately says, I need to go take care of this quest, and come accompanied by a dog, monkey, and a bird, goes to the island of demons and is able to defeat them, have them swear fealty, comes back rich and successful. And that's that. We have a very loose interpretation of that, where we have our main character... Well, it's hard to say main character, because again, the way that this fucking show is, structured is bonkers. But we have Don Momotaro, the Red Ranger, Momoitaro, found in a peach-shaped capsule. Not just a peach, but like a robot peach.
Yeah.
Is raised by a surrogate father, and is basically so good at everything, is the best at anything that he does, but he is also very affectionate of people. He loves to meet people. He believes that every bond, every connection or chance to meet somebody is a new bond forming, and that it really matters when it comes to things is just the strength of those bonds and what they lead into. And that's sort of the kind of person that we see leading this eccentric group. And then from there, we also have, we are introduced to Haruka Kido as the first character. Yes. 17-year-old, aspiring mangaka, and her first work is getting an award, but then it's said that it's plagiarized, and so her whole life goes into disarray, and in an attempt to try and clear things up or get things together, she is mixed into the role of Oni's sister, the Yellow Ranger. Her quest is to swear fealty to Momoitaro and be able to help him in this ensuing battle. Alongside them are... I wish this was better formatted. Shinichi Saruhara, a wise but eccentric young man who does not believe in having a job.
This guy fucking owns, also, to be clear. That guy, rules.
Yeah. Who is the Blue Ranger Saru brother. You also have... Alright. Tsuyoshi Kijino, a 33-year-old salaryman who has just been married and is the Pink Ranger, first male Pink Ranger.
First male Pink Ranger.
We also have...
He's also like the world's biggest wife guy, which owns
World's biggest wife guy. And Tsubasa Inuzuka, a 24-year-old struggling actor who is currently a fugitive after being falsely accused for a crime he did not commit, which we will learn about later, and is the Black Ranger. You might have already seen the Pink Ranger and the Black Ranger if you have seen any footage of Dawn Brothers.
Yeah.
These are the Rangers that are CG to fully CG composited.
And it is not a good look, I have to say. For as much fondness as I have in my heart for Dawn Brothers, it looks fucking bad.
It sucks and it's so good. It sucks and it's great and
It's
I
just
love
like
it.
there is just like a complete, like, you're witnessing like the people making it not give a single fuck, right? Like you are seeing like, they're like, yeah, fucking watch that pheasant. Watch this fucking guy with, like, why did they make him have giant legs? They chose to make him look like that. They chose to give him an insane design that would look bad in CGI. They made that little guy Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's so good.
I think I'm finally at the point where the show started to really get like a structure in a way. It really felt for a while that like things were just sort of arbitrarily happening, and it was insane, and I liked a lot of it, but it was also like, I don't think you guys know what you're doing until like episode like 10, I think. And then it like really starts to once they introduce the Bestials, is that their name?
The Bestials,
yeah. Once they introduce that, I feel like they really start getting more of an idea of what they're going for. Because having watched my wife watching fucking Zettai Rain, is it Zettai? No, it's Zenkai Rangers?
Zenkaiger,
yes.
The one before it, right?
Yeah, the one before it, which this is, again, like you said, a sequel of. It's like, it's really strange how much was just like those early episodes, they're just straight up reusing things from, or like the first like 8 episodes or so, they're really just reusing things. Like they don't even get the Megazord, their own Megazord, until like episode fucking 10, right? Like they're
so to be very like to give a actual like a setup on things, you know, God. None of them know each other.
Yeah, none of these guys know each other.
So the first time that we get into the battle scene, it's like Haruka is like thrown into whatever's going on, and she's just like, "Oh my God, are you Momoitaro?" And it's the Pink Ranger, and he's like, "What? What are you doing here? Get back! I gotta go and save crime." And he transforms. And then everyone else comes in already, or it's the Black Ranger and the Red Ranger who then come in already transformed. The gag is, and what happens is that you, the person watching, know who everyone is, but you also get to see everyone slowly figure out that they are a team. And there's like a moment where eventually the Yellow and the Blue Ranger figure out like, oh, okay, that's who you are? Cool. Let's team up and fuck up the Red Ranger, because low-key, this guy kind of sucks, and we hate him. And then eventually they team up with the Pink Ranger, and then they figure out like, oh, okay, we're actually all working with this guy, and this guy has already been connected to us in some way, because we've already seen him, or like, oh, he worked at my company, or oh, he, you know, told me such and such. And so they have, where I have last watched, everyone knows who they are except for the Black Ranger. And then there's also stuff that's coming up between like Inuzuka and Kijino, just based on like relationship stuff. Kind of. They haven't said anything either way. It is just so many threads are happening at all times, and there's a character who's like a black and white version of the original Zenkaiger from like the last series. You never really get any like setup on. what you expect are supposed to be like the villain analogs or like the villain rangers are also kind of like doing things their own way that aren't necessarily in opposition
Yeah, just sort of
to
like
the Dawn Brothers.
alongside. They show up sometimes like a
'cause-
Virgil fight.
Yeah, like they're the ones that are like, oh no, the Bestials are coming, and it's like, oh, okay, you know what's going on, but you're not necessarily like sure how that'll affect everything else.
It's such a like seeing this tweet that you've linked and then going to the connected tweet where he really does say he uses his premonition and intuition to write each episode. Like, fuck me.
Like, I cannot stress to you, like, I don't know how much we're explaining. Like, this show is fucking insane. They don't, they don't stop ever. They don't stop ever. They don't stop ever to, like, talk about something that happened. Like, they just sort of go on. They just keep going. They say that the Bestials are coming. They don't explain what the Bestials are for the longest time. They, like, just start fucking just having a dude. They introduce the Bestials by having a bus explode, okay, with a bunch of people on it, and then it goes like, oh, everyone's alive, but they're missing from that bus, and then they go, damn, the Bestials are coming, and it just cuts to this dude who they showed on the bus, and he goes into this ramen shop, and he just starts ripping the meat out of everyone's ramen bowls and eating it, and then like he just emits smoke. And then he leaves. And it's like, that's all you get. We're just going on to the next thing. Just think about that for a little bit. Like, what? It's like, it's so in opposition to the Kamen Rider formula where I would say Kamen Rider, like, over-explains things at times, which is honestly fun, because it's like, they're just, like, creating the most elaborate explanation for their stupid horse shit. This one's like, nah, who gives a shit? They're gonna fucking turn into Robo Momotaro, okay? Okay? He's gonna become Robo Momotaro.
The villain or like the monster of the week is like the Notoi, which are like enhanced emotions of shit, but it's like the fucking first episode where it's like a kid Yappy that wants to like be the best ping pong player, and he gets so absorbed by that then he like is challenging the greatest like ping pong players in the town with fucking like tearing up public property and turning it into like a ping pong table. And mind you, all of these monsters also then have to correlate to specific Sentai series because they're all because it's technically still a continuation of an anniversary series. Like they all have the ability to change into another like Sentai Ranger if they want to from like whatever series that they have available. And it's literally like part of the fun at some points is just like, okay, what vague monster design does this end up looking like? That
like the fucking pirate one was just like, okay, sure, why not?
There's one where like the Pink Ranger ends up becoming the monster of the week because that can happen, and he has the Car Ranger, and it literally just like the design's fun there. I like the episode where the monster is the Jetman episode, which Inoue also worked on, where it's also like this weird love triangle that's going on for like that one episode, which also relates, I think, funnily enough, to the love triangle in Jetman that is not the greatest, because I don't think Inoue always knows how to write women.
He doesn't have enough intuition for that one.
He doesn't have... Man, that tweet's so good.
It's really
the monkey, good. When the monkey starts getting the coal. But God, it is full neuron activation.
It's just like, it really is just like, if you just want to be like, if you just want to loot, like, if you're like, man, I'm thinking about too much right now, it's like, turn on fucking Dawn Brothers, okay? You're not going to be thinking much longer.
Nah.
Not about those things anyway. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
You're just gonna be singing the theme song.
Dun dun. That fucking opening like the animation, the choreography, everything about it is haunting. It's just like, I don't even.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. It is great.
Whenever fucking Don Momotaro shows up, he's on a whole palanquin.
Yeah.
And he has dancers.
He has dancers.
It's a festival.
It's great.
Everyone be lively. He is such a like shitty little motherfucker.
He really
whenever
is.
He's actually Don Momotaro.
I do like that duality between him as just himself and as Momotaro, where it's like when he's himself, he's like, he's still an asshole, but he's like way more like rude about it. He's like way more like self-serious. And then like,
Yeah.
when he's Momotaro, he's just like, fuck you.
Because, yeah, Momotaro's kind of an asshole.
He is, yeah. Also an asshole, the Pink Ranger. I fucking love that episode where he just murks someone.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I know that it's going somewhere, but it's just like, it's really funny that it was just like, this dude like harassed his wife, so he was like, you know what? You're not getting friendship saved at the at the end.
Yeah.
It really does, like, I don't want to say like this is one that's for like adults at all, because it is not, to be very clear. It is not. But
No.
it has this like insanity that I feel like you can only truly appreciate once you have really like seen what else that medium has to offer. Like, just,
Yeah.
there's such a like manic nature to it that is unmatched. I struggle, like, I thought Revice was insane, and then I watched Dawn Brothers, and it's like Revice seems quaint in comparison.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn, it's good though. I'm glad you're watching that. I need to watch a lot more, but we're scheduling it. We're doing it in like 4-person watch parties, and let me tell you, that is a fantastic way to watch that show, especially with people who like haven't seen a Sentai before. Just seeing them be like, "What? What?"
Which, I mean, is fair, though, because, again, some Sentai series are very plotting.
yeah.
It's just very, like... It is not incorrect to say that they definitely... Some series can come across as, if I'm told to write for a child, I'm going to be very deliberate.
Yeah.
That just slows.
Let's not go too far or anything. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like really, really watching my wife watch so many Sentai, like she's gone through like 3 series since we've moved in together, and it's like comparing even like Zenkaiger to like the fucking ninja one, the samurai one. I don't know if it was ninja or samurai, but that one,
Ninja?
I think so. That one, like,
Did they have crosses on their faces, or did they have, like...
I think they had just crosses on their faces.
Okay.
Either way, that one was like the most like Sentai Power Rangers ass shit, like of just like we all live in this magic castle, and
Yeah.
and then we go and do the thing, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like you compare that to Dawn Brothers, and it's like these are the same like franchise, like. It's honestly great. I love it. I love it all the way. I think it's great. John, do you want to talk about finishing Kongming, and then we can wrap it up if you want? I know there's not much to say, but
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. I'll just say that I definitely feel like I didn't like it as much as a lot of other people did. It just kind of happened. It was alright.
no, I think I said this last time. I'm with you. Like I really loved those first like 6-7 episodes. Six, probably 6 episodes of Kongming. And then like after Kabataijin's arc finished, and I was like, this is great. I love having all these guys together. It really does just feel like it got caught up in this like arc that is really bad to do once you introduce all the characters. I think there's a reason that a lot of like shonen, it's insane to compare this to a shonen, but it's like a lot of shonen shows like literally take forever to do arcs for some of the characters in the group, specifically because like you need to build up a reason to care about them in the scope of the group, you know, first before you really start like fleshing them out in a sense. And sometimes that's like not the right way to go about it, but I think here it really would have been better if they had done some like, you know, indie touring or something first together. Show Kaveh actually rapping with her. You know? Yeah, I agree with you. It's did they ever
I think it could have stood to be it could have stood to have been goofier for a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's just like I said this last time, but it gets caught so much up in that like, wow, here's how music is created and individual voices are found, that it just does not work for me at all. It just feels like such a like insane way to look at things. Which is also just baffling from the perspective of like, this is a gag manga about Kong Ming being your strategist for idol stuff. Not idle stuff, but you know. But I would be willing to see a season 2. Maybe it would be better.
Honestly, me too.
I think it could. I think they could really fix things up and get back to what was good about parts of that first season.
I mean, that's kind of how a lot of like. I think Spring has a lot of shows that were just like, you know, we're giving you at least enough momentum. Maybe go check out the manga and see how that's going.
Definitely.
You like it? Ooh, I think we could maybe do a season 2.
And thank God Birdie Wing got that season 2 again. Not to.
He got that fucking out of nowhere.
I am so fucking glad. Everyone loves it. What's not to love? It's great.
It got it as it was building the bridge to get there.
Yeah, they were like, all right, well, we're not going to fucking finish this unless you give us a season 2.
Because everyone's like, but who's that? Who? Why do we not see them yet? And they're like, don't worry about it.
You'll see in season 2. It's like, are you getting a season 2? Sunrise? Speaking of Sunrise and season 2s, am I right? What do you... It all comes back around.
To negotiate.
We've come to terms.
Yeah. God. I do just gotta say it real quick, because man, this is where Teppen was one where I'm already just like, this sucks and I don't have much to like go off of. Yuri Deco is, I'm sad that I don't like it.
Because you want to, like, I
want to like it so bad. I love the look that Science Saru has produced. I really think that it's good to just have a series that wants to be avant-garde and a studio that wants to just push itself in a different direction. I really don't want to have this be an example of, Science Saru was good when Masaki Yuasa was doing everything. Because 2 episodes, we're on episode 3 now, and since first starting it, already said I had enough of a, I had enough beef with the main character, Barry. Trying to do that thing where she's trying to coin a phrase as if everyone has always said this. This is just my thing. This is my bit. And it's like, it doesn't feel organic. It feels like you want me to say this alongside you, and I don't want to do that. Similar to the deuteragonist Hack having her own mannerisms and tinkerings and quirks, and it's just like, these feel very produced in a way that I'm just not gelling with.
Right, and it's not like something that comes out it's not like someone just says something insane because they're fumbling over their words and it becomes like a bit, right? Like, it's just like they're just saying it. They're just saying this insane thing. And it's
or it's like
why?
Your mannerisms are just Why is this a nerdy birdie? Why is this glitchy witchy? Why are you counting in zecto, octo, hepta, beta? Like, what's the purpose? The internet society feels very contrived, where it's like this third episode basically had Hack trap. Also, if you haven't noticed already, Hack Barry, Tom Sawyer.
Right, I forgot this was the fucking Tom Sawyer series, right?
Episode 3, you meet the character Finn, the femme presenting character.
Right.
And then you also meet the black character, Hank Finn. You get it? You get it?
Yeah,
You get it?
I get it. I'm looking.
But
at
anyway,
all this.
Finn and Barry are going in like the deeper internet to procure documents in order to try and then disguise themselves as a public attorney for Hack's trial. Because Finn is able to create a capacity for it. It just feels like there is a way to do internet as society, and I don't think Yuri Deco is like confident in doing it in a way where it still fits with what they want to do aesthetically. Because they're still doing like, basically internet is on projection. Likes are your money. You can go and explore these virtual escapes, but then it's like, okay, if I'm exploring this as myself, if I'm interacting with the internet as myself, do I need an avatar still? Do I need to have, little character that represents me, even though I can basically go into the internet as me? Where you have, Decadence, you have Summer Wars, you have Bell. And yeah, 2 of those are Hosoda, specifically because there's at least a guy that understands separating the self and the artifice while still representing how both are like interconnected. And this is just doing it really sloppily and in a way where I really don't know if I'm interested to see what the mystery of the island is. Why are these people Yude ghosts? Because they are like unregistered to the system, which, love to have Barry go, man, it must be cool to be a ghost. Like, yeah, love to have no discernible rights in my society, homie. Which the episode before it, she finds out, oh, both my parents are working as like data moderators, and they have to like delete stuff that's not good. How can you do this? Why are you doing this? And it's like, why do you care? Legitimately, why do you care about data protection? Why do you care about like internet censorship? What is your modus for caring about this stuff if all you've ever been is someone that likes to hack your computer to just mute when you're on Zoom class so you can talk to your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you haven't shown me why this becomes about you. And I have to believe in your altruism, which I don't think is there. Again,
I just like, why would they make this? Again, not to keep saying this, but like, really, like, it's the type of thing where it's like, why is it Tom Sawyer, Like,
It's very strange.
to what end? Like, are you making a message about it? you're just doing the thing that like a ton of anime used to do in the past, where you're just like saying things because it sounds.
I don't know.
Because it's a known thing, and it's like, whoa, it's like that. There's some.
It sucks.
Yeah, there's just something to be said for like. This has happened. I've noticed this a lot in anime specifically recently. I mean, it's inevitable. It's not so much happening in a lot of in the Western sphere, only because it's like I feel like there are so many insane production meetings with like budgeting and everything over here compared to how the anime industry is, where it's like just this insane thing of some dude decides a pitch that your studio is going to follow up on.
Right.
And this just feels like it's like why are they making this? Like, what was their goal? What was the message they wanted to convey? Who like looked at this and then went like, damn, this is awesome. Like it just feels like it's
Again,
just like Yuasa is a known quantity, so it's like just fucking let him go.
I mean, there is a capacity. Like, I get what they want to get to.
Yeah.
I can see the foundation of, oh, is it right to censor things online for people's security? Is it right to discriminate solely based on a lack of, inclusion in a system or access to technology? There are tangible things there, but I don't feel like the person that is writing this or the people that are working on this can fully step in there. And, this is definitely something I could see Yuasa working on and confiding to in some extent, but he's not there. If I want to see what he's working on, like, if I'm going to want a Yuasa story about alienation and finding yourself despite a system that is actively working against you, I'm going to watch Inuo. Because that's very blatantly shaping up to be about that, among other themes. I at least feel confident about Hot Tub Time Machine Blues because I do trust the director. Fucking Tatami Time Machine Blues.
I liked your version a lot more. I knew exactly what you were talking about too, though, so it was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do believe that one will probably be.
Like, I trust the director of Sunny Boy because I did like what I saw of Sunny Boy. I got to go back and watch that still.
The
Really
rest
just
of it.
finish
Yeah.
up where I was.
Yeah, I need to watch it full stop because someone I know just watched it all recently and seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah, like I trust when there's a vision there and that there are people doing it, but this definitely feels like
Yeah, it just feels like it's half ideas almost.
I could see this as an anime that like the Azukin team, literally like the three of them, would do, and Kanamori would be like, "What are you doing?" Like the joke would be, "Oh, Kanamori is out sick for the week, so let's see what we can do." And it's like a very like, because I see bits of them. I see bits of those three in these two characters, but it's not gelling in a way that makes me think fondly of the Azukin trio.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm not going to rush out any half-finished thoughts about this, but I don't know if you're going to continue to watch this or not.
I might. I don't know. Like, again, there is so little there that I'm interested in. And there is definitely a certain Canadian out there that is telling you what to watch because, that's his job now, which, good on him. But I'll disagree and say that there's less. Take the summer to watch stuff that you may have missed out on or just, haven't been.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm just going to say real quick, I've been watching fucking Haibane Ranmei, which I have never seen instead, and that's pretty good. Watch something like that. an old series. It's good. It's really good to watch old series. In general, it really helps you appreciate both how far the medium has come and also the parts where it's gotten away in a bad way, you know? Not necessarily a way that makes you like nihilistic or anything, just like a way that's like, I wonder what the world would look like if we had gone down this route or something like that, you know? It's interesting. It's fun to think. And I also think that about does it for the show. Great transition. Nailed it. Unless we have, is that it? You think?
That's all we got.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you both for joining me and talking about the Big O. I love the Big O. Thank you for making me watch the Big O, John.
I mean, I made myself watch it too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot, so I think we both win here.
We both win here. Thank goodness. All right. Patreon.com/VGCC. $3 gets you everything 1 week early.
What are we watching this time?
Yeah, you're right. I was going to work that into some sort of thing, but you're right.
Okay,
I should have led with that. You were right. We are watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Oh God, how do I pronounce that thing? Wasn't it like the specific one? Is it the movies?
No, it is
It's the 13 episode. Is it D something? Or no?
Yeah.
It is?
Legend of the Galactic Heroes Die New Thief.
Die New Thief, thank you. That is on High Dive.
I believe.
Okay.
Because I believe High Dive has all the Legend of the Galactic Heroes stuff.
Okay.
They didn't for a hot second.
They did not for a hot second. That's exactly how I know.
Yeah.
Because people were talking about it, how it vanished.
So, I think to actually clear up some confusion, I forget if Dinuthis is on High Dive. It is on Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll, and the rest is on... High Dive has the original series.
High Dive has the entirety of the Legend of the Galactic Heroes OVAs from the 80s, 90s.
Okay. So it's on Crunchyroll, sorry. It's on Crunchyroll. But yeah, we're going to be watching that.
Okay.
Yeah, and patreon.com/VGCC. We do want more Patreon suggestions. We're running through it. We still got, the rest of the year probably scoped out, but it's always good to have more options.
Give us more. Yes,
I'll probably
please.
do a little ping in the server chat at the patrons later, because I was thinking about how some people might skip this portion where I'm just doing the ads if they happen to be a subscriber.
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah. Again, thank you both for joining me. We're gonna watch that for in a month. Talk about Legend of Galactic Heroes. Until next time, this is Unlimited Railworks, and I hope you have a wonderful day, night, week, month, year. See ya.
Sometimes I feel so all alone, finding myself calling your name.
When we apart, so far away, hoping it's me that you're thinking of.
Could it be true? Could it be real? My heart says that you're the one.
There's no one else, you're the only one for me.
Yes, this time our love's the real thing. Never felt that love is so right. The world seems such a mess.